If you listened yesterday to the devotion that I did out of James, I want to continue that thought. In James 1:2, he says, "Count it all joy when you meet trials of various kinds." But he goes on into verse 3, he says, "For you know," and the idea here is that he is assuming that you and me should know these things as believers. For you know. In other words, it's not like, let me tell you something that you don't know. You should know this, that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. Can I just share with you, in my areas of my life, so many times there have been difficulties and challenges, and I decided to trust God, and I decided to follow God in the midst of those things, sometimes reluctantly, sometimes kicking and screaming, to be honest, but I trusted God. And I can tell you something, in the midst of those difficulties, as I clung and just hung on to God, what I can tell you is He started to produce something in me, which was a steadfastness. And I think that all of us can learn from this, that as we trust God, even in the difficulties, even in the sufferings of this life, what we do is we find a steadfastness that realizes that even in the midst of the difficulties, God is there working in our midst. And that's why James says, count it all joy. So here's what I'd like for us to do today. Let's take some difficulties in our lives and take some past difficulties and look at them now through the lens of years forward and looking back at some of the things that we've gone through and how we've gone through them. And I think if we do that, we'll see that God is at work, which will also give us the ability to take things that are going on in our life right now to see that, hey, God is working, and what He's going to do is He's going to produce in me a steadfastness that trusts Him not only in the good, but also in the bad. And when we get to that place, we are so much more mature in our Christian faith. Will you take a moment today and pray, God, would you mature me so that whether it's good or bad from your hand, what I can do is I can trust you to count it joy and for you to work steadfastness in my life.